You are welcome to the Premier Top 4 podcast. Today, in this particular episode, we are focusing on the United match. So, this is a special edition for just the United fans because you guys have been in the trenches for a long time, and this time around, you won your match very, very well with lobbing shots and all that. With the pass from what's the name, Rashford, and man, you guys were good. So we are giving you a special episode just for United, the United exclusive. You can see Michael is just laughing. If you are a returning subscriber, you understand that he has been in the trenches for a while. He has been suffering, but and they leaped after winning the match. They actually moved forward to 10th place. Let's clap for them. Let's clap for them. 10th place. Let's clap for them. So now they are in the top 10. They are in the top 10. So let's clap for them. It's very good. It's very good.
Dry, that is very unfair for your closest rivals. We are coming for you.
You are coming for who? Hey, some of you are very audacious in your wishes. So you are very, I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. You are very, you are coming for
Okay, guys. So let's talk about the match. They did very well. So let's delve right into it. I think in the match, one thing that was very peculiar was Garnacho. Even before he scored, I wrote his name down. Coach, how did you see Garnacho's performance? How did you see the performance?
So with Alejandro, yeah, Garnacho, the his game was good yesterday. I would not take that away from him. But my challenge as a fan and also as a coach is consistency. You can't be good at one game and the next game you're struggling and you're good again. So he needs to maintain the tempo and keep it high up there. And a few times the opponent also matters. So if you want to play well against Brighton, you should play well against Chelsea, against Liverpool, against Arsenal, against Manchester City, and not be found wanting. And he has something that's similar with Rashford that I don't like. They are finishing. You need maybe like 4 or 5 attempts to get one at the back of the net. So you need to be clinical in those situations, even if you're on form. But yesterday he had a good run out, and well, some people were fatigued, some people rested. So that's football.
Okay. So Owusu, how did you see Garnacho's performance before we even go into the nitty gritties of the match?
I've been telling you about the boys from South America and Africa and co. For them, they are hungry. It's either you perform or your parents back home will sleep on an empty stomach. So if you are given a chance, you always have to perform. But Garnacho has always proven he has been the player that Anthony what's his name? Anthony couldn't be. You get it. Aside the few brows that Sancho had with Ten Hag, yeah, you can also put Sancho in that bracket that he has been the player that they all expected those two players to be. So if he's making the strides at the moment, we have to give him his flowers, right? So it was a good thing. He had his chances, although he didn't get so many goals, but his performance overall was good. So that's for Garnacho. He did very well.
So dry on Garnacho.
Oh, Garnacho, ever since he came out to declare that it's a Ronaldo ball, I knew that this guy was destined for greatness. And I've been seeing elements of greatness in what he does. So for me, anytime he puts up a distinguishedly top performance, I'm not surprised because that is who he is. Supposed to be expressing these things. But like Coach said, the mark of an excellent player is consistency, right? Class is permanent, form is temporal. So the class that he has, we want to be seeing this class week in, week out. For us to get teams like Chelsea to believe that Garnacho is a gem, right? And they went in for the wrong route in Sancho. But on that particular yesterday, I mean, this volley or how volley he struck, and I was like, wow, what a player! And no wonder he scored the goal from such a similar position. So Garnacho is for me is who he is him.
Okay, so let's go to the talking point of the match where Delete had a head injury and then the blood was oozing all over his face and all that, and then the what's the name, the referee asked him to go and fix it. He went there. The medical team did a shabby job, and he came back, and the blood was oozing again. And then he was asked to go back in the dying minutes of the first half, where there was a corner against United, and which led to a goal. Coach, do you think the referees were wrong, or you are blaming the medical team?
You know, the medical team, I would say, because they they had the time to do that treatment properly. You know, when he came back into the pitch, I was actually wondering those kind of injuries. Usually, you come back with a bandage or with a clean head. But even when he came back into the pitch, there were still patches of blood, which for safety reasons is against the rule of the game. And I'm sure the official did not notice on time. And the time he noticed was a bad time for us. It's just like what we say for football, you don't do substitutions during high periods like free kick into the 18 or corner kicks, so that the game settles in. And at a crucial time where we needed his presence, he was asked to go out. Reason that if he was even in the game, we are not saying that that would have stopped the goal because there was a clear poor marking there, but that's not the discussion. But for that to have happened at that time, it was enough for us to be agitated. If I were the player, I'd rather sit on the pitch for that treatment to come in and get a card, just somehow buy some time, demoralize the opponent. But in the pitch, in the peak of that activity, he was sent to go get his head cleaned up and the goal came. So the medical team had to be blamed for that, even if the player was eager to come into the pitch.
So then I think it goes to show that whatever Ronaldo said about United is true, because it looks like there's a bigger issue. It's not just Ten Hag; it's the entire organization has a lot of issues. The last time their roof was leaking, the whole United, and it's atrocious. But a philosopher like Ten Hag keeps getting the blame, which is not right. Dry. If you missed the episode, um, Ten Hag is now a philosopher. We call him the philosopher on this podcast. He has a lot of fans on the podcast. We adore him so much. So if you don't know
Chelsea
the philosopher,
fans, they love
yeah,
him.
yeah,
The
we
fan
adore him so
pulling,
much. Yeah.
the fan pulling, they're different level. Oh. Hi.
He's called the Socrates of coaches. Yeah, the Socrates of coaches. Yeah, he gives a lot of speeches and all that. So we love him. So as I said, the tactical tweaks that. So the last time everyone was coach, you in particular, you were talking against the philosopher. But this time around, let's see the tactical approach that the players came in the second half. Owusu, let's talk about Ten Hag. The tactical approach that he brought in the second half. How did you see it?
I've always told you that I love Ten Hag so much. These are some of the things that we need him to be doing. You lose some, you win some. Yeah. And it's unfortunate I couldn't catch up with this post match interview. But we knew they weren't going to lose after that bad run of form. It was going to be a difficult game after the international break, but to lose was not an option because their last game, their owners were there. And after the game, there were a series of meetings that went on. So whatever he did or whatever he didn't do, the players were tasked to at least uh, calm the pressures around the team down, right? So with his lineup and everything, the way he went, Mike was saying it wasn't his idea as to how they played in the last game, but I don't think so. As for Van Nistelrooy, he's there to help. So whatever the outcome is, if he lost and you blamed him for it, when he wins, to my brother, just give him the credit. He did so well, and we expect that in the next games he will win, and then after those ones, we can come back and tell you what we expect of him going forward.
Okay, Dry. How do you see the tactical approach in the second half from the philosopher?
I don't know what tactics Ten Hag actually plays, honestly. To I don't know the pattern of play this philosopher actually does. Maybe it's that chaotic ball, confuse your enemies kind of ball. Maybe that's what he plays. That's fine because
That is why we call
because
him the philosopher, bro. Confusing your
ah
enemies, making them think that you see, don't let your enemies know your next move. That's what we are trying to say. He's a philosopher. You can
good.
see, yeah.
If that's the case, if that's the case, then it's fine. But I think um, what really stood out for me in the tactics or supposed tactics that he deployed was the efficiency of the Casemiro Ericsson combo. I really like the way they gelled. I really like the way some at some point in time balls were cut back for Casemiro to take a shot, and then Ericsson had some runs from deep to attempt to score goals. Those are some very nice plays. Oh, I don't know who instructed this guy Baby Haaland, to not hold the ball, but play instant flicks of the ball. I saw that like I think I could count about three of such times. Typically you want your number nine to hold the ball and then distribute into space, right? But for Highland yesterday, when the ball comes, you just flick it in the path of a running player, and that was a very nice tactics if it came from the philosopher. But I mean, I would have to admit or I'd have to concede that it came from him because when they lose, we heap all the blames on him, so we can't all of a sudden credit his backroom staff for those excellences. Some people are saying that because when Hoyland scored that goal, he went to Van Nistelrooy, so it is a sign that Van Nistelrooy really instructed him to do those. No, 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 no. Sometimes maybe Van Nistelrooy is not feeling well, so he's dedicating the goal to Van Nistelrooy. So it could be that reason, but we can't all of a sudden say that Van Nistelrooy was the one that masterminded that
Okay,
excellence.
so guys, just to open your eyes to a tactical tweak that he did in the second half was that he asked their right back, I think sometimes I forget the name, their right back to invert
Download, download.
Dalot. So Dalot inverted instead of overlapping in the second half.
Ah,
And it changed the whole game. Coach, how do you see the inversion from Dalot in the second half?
What has Dalot been playing for the last three matches? Is the inversion. You remember I told you that in the other games we've been playing, especially the last two games, and Dalot was, if you remember, Dalot has been playing left back before this match. So now he's playing right back, and with the his position from the other matches, he comes to the midfield, and Ericsson tried to cover him from the wide out from the wide areas to stop maybe any attack on us. So Ericsson has been playing like central midfield, protecting the Dalot side on the left, while Dalot has inverted to make the midfield compact to attack. Now, if you also see, because we were on the course of trying to get the goals and trying to secure our the defense, it was like a transition to three central defense because Martinez being a left back in that game can also invert into to create a three-man defense and a four or five compact midfield. So it looks like okay, probably what he tried to do in the first half wasn't working, so he had to revert to the standard of Dalot trying to invert to make that midfield. So it's not something that is new. It's just maybe I tried to tweak it first half. It looks like it's not working. Let's go back to the normal thing we do. Dalot, you can now go back because they have to also be wary of the attack from the flanks, which trying to be compact in that middle has also hurt us because if Tehran in his philosophy, as you guys say, we try to say is that the guys did not implement or they did not keep the momentum going, trying to speak all kind of football grammar to justify what he's trying to do that is not working. So the inverted stop is something that Dalot has been doing. I wouldn't say it's anything that is new. And like we've said it in the last two episodes, he has been playing in that midfield.
Okay, so if it's not new, then this guy is really ahead of his time because you could see clearly that he knows how to utilize his players. And I look, it's like we are really underrating this coach. Is it not the same coach that had this Aya super team dry?
No, you see,
It's not the same coach
let, let's
that
let,
had
let's
this Aya
let's
super
yeah.
even
team.
It
talk
is the
about
same.
the tactics.
It is the same. It is the same coach. It is the same coach. You know, which is why I mean it's the same coach, right? Which is why people are blaming the hierarchy of the club for Ten Hag's poor performance in the under his spell. I mean, in the club, but he doesn't see it like that anyway. He claims that he's won the most trophies after Pep Guardiola in that period. So that is a mark of his excellence. But that Ajax super team, he has managed to bring three or three. I can four. I can count four players. Even five. He's brought Onana, brought Mazarawi,
The same
brought
centre back partnership and
yes,
everything. Like he's actually
Mazarawi
bringing
brought
the same team
exactly.
home. Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, the only positive thing I've seen so far is Mazarawi. And maybe once in a while, an inconsistent top performance from Onana. But yesterday, too, Delete showed that. I mean, Delete is just baby Maguire, honestly. Delete doesn't have anything special for Maguire. I mean, you want your
That's
center
unfair.
back to be. Oh, oh, will you compare Delete to Saliba?
But is
Will you
Maguire
compare?
that bad?
Will you?
No,
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 no.
no.
Look,
Maguire is
guy,
good.
Maguire
Maguire is
Mensa
guy,
is
good.
not bad.
guy.
Yes, yes.
Let me even chip this in. Even if you say delete is baby Maguire, you are actually disrespecting Maguire because Maguire is very, very good. He's an
No, like,
excellent centre back. How dare you disrespect him?
oh no,
How
no, no, no,
dare
no, no.
you?
I mean, in terms of ability, right? In terms of ability, what Maguire does, or what Delete brings, right? It's just what Maguire does. Just that Maguire is old, so maybe Delete is the man for the future. But yesterday, we saw some element of, um, let's say, let's say, like some element of brilliance from how do you call it from Delete. And I would say that those things are more like adrenaline. I mean, Blair is playing ball like Baston Schweinsteiger has injury and wants to play with the injury to buy some credit among the fans on the streets. And we saw that, and that is when those things happen. Even I can play excellently. So that one is nothing. But on a good day, to be composed at the back, like the way the Van Dijks do it, the way the Konates do it, the Salibes do it, the way the Kowels and Adayabaros do it. Oh, come on. You can't put Delete in that equation. But yesterday, it
Okay,
showed
guys,
us why,
let's go to
I
the.
mean,
It's
we
okay.
should
It's
target.
okay. It's okay. Dry. It's okay. Dry. It's okay. It's okay.
No, I felt
Let's go to the brilliant goal that you scored in the second half by Højlund. Coach, take us through the goal. How did the goal happen?
Well, the tempo before the goal had been high. If you see like the possession in the last 5 minutes before that goal, it was like I think it was about 67 something. And so the tempo coming to the goal was, it was high, there was a high intensity. And it was like it was the best time to handle the high intensity to get that goal. And it was I'll use the word the flick of touches in the right direction because especially the one from Bruno, it could have gone anywhere, but it was like a very good drift, and you had a player that could understand the run, and the defenders too were flat-footed because they thought Odland was offside, and beautiful goal, and he got the goal. In fact, immediately he had that chance. In my head, I was like, this will be a goal, and this is what I was saying, talking about Alejandro and Rashford, like the opportunity to convert when you have those chances, and that is what has kind of been missing in the team. You remember when he came back from his injury, and you were saying, "Oh, as Holland has come in, how do I feel? What do we think the impact will be on the club?" We discussed this in our last podcast, and this is the stuff that he can be made of. If he has these opportunities, he can bury them. Dre has also drawn something about the style of Holland trying to hold the ball and distribute. You can see in this game, he had like an open game. He didn't need to do the try to hold, try to pass around. It was only later where we had Zegzi come into the game and try to hold up play and distribute, and that was also still part of trying to retain the lead. But with the goal, drift touch from Bruno, a good pass from Rashford, drift touch from Bruno, Holland, goal, perfect combination, team goal.
Okay. So I think it's clearly a drill from the training grounds, and the philosopher had a hand in it, and it is very good. So, United fans, the question that I'm asking is that could this be the springboard for United to have a good run in the league? Dry, do you think it's going to be a springboard for United to start having a good run in the league?
It's a good place to start, right? It's a confidence booster. As to what they'll do with it, knowing United very well in this way and manner they play, I can't emphatically say so. But let's see how they utilize the confidence they got from this win in the next 2 3 games, and then you can make an absolute assertion as to even whether this is going to be the launch pad propelling them into a successful winning streak.
Okay. Owusu, do you think United is going to have a good run from after this performance that we saw?
Of course, with the professor in philosophy, everything is possible. He has already started on a good note from the international break, and I think this is the last international break, right? So yeah, it's going to continue like that. He's going to get the results, and mind you, Brentford have been very stubborn. They've been very stubborn in the league. They like to score first and then provoke you, and then if you lose your balance in the back, they'll still add more. So they United put the right players in the right time, like the Holland thing that you were talking about. In that particular time where you needed a goal, you couldn't have kept the ball to himself and be wondering what to do with. So the flick ons, the playing of the passes into spaces for the uh, wingers on the flanks to hop on them and then create chances from there would be ideal. As to what Zexi will come and do when they were having the lead, Zexi will just be reserved, retain the ball, try and look for players that are not really pressured and also in safe positions on the pitch, and then release the ball to them. So it's a good thing, and I'm saying on record that they are going to go on an unbeaten streak right from here. I trust the professor so well. Michael, don't give me that face. You will come and give me my flowers next week.
No, no,
Okay,
no.
okay, guys.
The truth
Um, um,
is,
um, it's okay, coach. I know that you are going to rebut and all that. Let's end on this note. This is a special one for the United fans. Let's not talk negative. So we are ending it here. Please subscribe, comment, and if you believe in the philosopher and you are Ateta in, put the hashtag Ateta in. If you are like Michael and you want Ateta out, and all that. So thanks to everyone for coming and watching us. And next week we are going to bring you another juicy episode as well. Thanks to everyone. Bye bye.